long enough till the Undertaker came in. Maybe him and I, might have had a little run together,
Right.
Because he came in right after I left, But it didn't happen. And, I always kind of wonder that what might have happened. But
salute, guys, and welcome to the Figure 4 TV. And today, guys, we're going to talk about the worst gimmick in WWE's history, guys. So y'all stick around. Okay, guys, so one of the worst gimmicks in WWE history of all time has got to be Akeem The African Dream, guys. And let me tell you why. This character started off as the one-man gang, sort of like Bebop and Rocksteady, like the 70s and 80s punk rocker, one of those guys. He was not an African-American character. No, and I'm not here to be a race agitator. No. But I'm going to call it down the middle. We're going to remove the gray area. What makes it bad about this is that you have so many African-American talents. Why would you take this white man and make him out to be an African-American man, guys? Keep in mind that this guy's gimmick started out as the one-man gang. And then they did a promo like this, right? They paired him up with the Doctor of Style, Slick. Slick, he had that prototype, that prototypical black man, the Slick, the get over, the hustling manager.
All about. And Daddy, I'm just about the happiest man in the world, right?
The discrepancies with how One Man Gang told me the story of how he became Akeem. And a lot of people think you were against that idea and it may have offended you, but you have the true story, so we'll let you tell it on how One Man Gang became Akeem.
I should pick up my cell phone now and call Gang while we're doing this interview, because he and I have talked about that 3 or 4 times now. And he said, man, you know what? You're right. That the way you're saying, that is exactly what happened. He said, I'm sorry, I just forgot. And see, the whole Akeem idea came from me. It didn't come from Vince McMahon. I went to...
That is important right there, guys. So the Dr. Style Slick is saying it came from him. It was his idea. That's very important, because Vince took a lot of heat for this idea. I even thought that this was a Vince McMahon. Now, still, Vince approved it and he authorized it, but I thought it was his creation. Interesting.
And I believe we were in Indianapolis doing TV in Indianapolis, Indiana. And if it wasn't, then it was in where Notre Dame is, South Bend, Indiana, one of the two. And I went to Akeem. I said, man, I went to Gang, and I said, because I had gotten some inside information that they were getting ready to release Gang. And so I was trying to think of a way to keep him there, because not only were we partners professional, but we just like brothers. Even to this day, we talk 2 or 3 times a week on the phone. And so I wanted to keep my friend there. So I went to him. I said, man, what do you think about this? What do you think about me going to Vince and said, we're going to turn you into a black guy? We're going to say you from Africa. You're a black man now. We're going to, dress you up in black clothes, and you start talking what we say is talk black, you know how that goes. And he said, well, hey man, go forward. So I went to Vince with the idea, and I went to Pat Patterson, and they loved it. They screamed, oh yeah. When Vince gets excited, that's what he does. And so that's when Vince went to George and said to him, this is his idea that Slick brought to me, and this is what we're gonna do. And he said, so you better learn how to start dancing and jiving and going on. And so that added a couple of more years to his career in the WWE. So that's how that came about.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV.
As you see, normally back in the days, right, they'll have a vignette package and a promo package before they roll out a character to garner some attention to that said character, guys. So this is right after the one-man gang character. He took some time off, and then they wrote out a new character for the one-man gang, right? And you see the stereotype with this. He met Mean Gene Okerlund. Guys, go back on YouTube. You know, I can't play it because WWE, they're strict with the copyrights. But if you can go back on YouTube, you could, the vignette is there, guys. You'll see that Slick met up with Mean Gene Okerlund in what's supposed to be the projects, guys. All right? And then they start playing drums and they started to go African Bambaataa on you, guys. So let's see. Let's get it.
I cannot believe this. Absolutely incredible. Call a lawyer. Get an out-of-court settlement on this. Maybe I'll re-up my subscription to National Geographic.
Behold! Oh. And behold, Akeem!
Now, another little cringy detail to this character, if you notice, guys, he came to the ring with his hands swinging, like if he was doing some type of bebop or something. I mean, he went all in with this African-American stereotype. And this man not African. This man is not from South Africa, guys. This man is not from there. I want you to go do your research tonight, because I know I have some of you in my comment section. Like, why does it matter? It matters, guys. It matters. All right? It is what it is. The truth will set you free. But he's not a South African man, guys. And Vince know he dead wrong. And this is one of the many characters and gimmicks that that did not age very well. Did not age very well. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to point it out. Now, I mean, this is one of the main golden era characters. A lot of you not going to know him because Akeem The African Dream, one of his biggest feuds and rivalries was with the Boss Man. He also teamed with the Boss Man, and I think they was called the Twin Towers. Absolutely, guys. So a lot of you guys, you newer wrestling audiences, not going to know. But yeah, the top picture is his original gimmick, the one-man gang. And then the bottom picture is that African Dream gimmick. One thing else I want to talk to you guys about, right? This was always a rib because Vince couldn't get his hands on Dusty Rhodes, guys. Keep that in mind. Dusty Rhodes was the American Dream, and we all know how Vince will create a knockoff version of any one of the characters because Vince always feel that he makes the character don't make his show. He feels he can create the characters. So he always wanted the natural Dusty Rhodes, but he couldn't get his hands on him. Just like, guys, he wanted the Road Warriors. He originally wanted the Road Warriors, and he couldn't get his hands on him, so he made Demolition. We wouldn't have Demolition if Vince could have got his hands on the Road Warriors Hawking Animal. We also wouldn't have the Ultimate Warrior if he would have got his hands on Sting. You know what I mean? But Vince was good at recreating what worked for the other company. But this was not a good idea. This wasn't a good idea at all. And guys, one-man gang, Hakeem, he knew it. So let's get into that, guys. But yeah, did y'all know that that gimmick was a rib, was a knock to this gimmick right here, guys? That's why he had him come into the ring dancing just like how Dusty Rhodes would dance and do his bionic elbow. That's exactly the hand movements that Hakeem was trying to portray. As you can see, they had him in a dashiki. They got him in, man, listen, guys, it was crazy. It was crazy. But let's see what he got to say about how he felt about the character.
Change.
Man, it just really wasn't no huge deal made about it. I don't know, the first word I actually got about it, Slick kind of came to me and said, we got this we're gonna got the idea about making you a black man or something. And I honestly thought Slick was joking about it. I didn't take it serious. And then I don't know, I was walking around backstage at catering or wherever I was at, and Vince stopped me and asked me, could I dance? And I said, I'm like, no, I can't dance. And he said, well, you need to learn, get with Slick and have Slick give you some lessons. And I still had no idea what was going on. So eventually, it finally came out, that they finally broke down and told me, that we got this idea that Slick went back to Africa and found your roots and found out your roots was, you're really a black man and we're going to call you Akeem. And, I just thought it was a big joke for the longest, up until they, Vince said, don't shave your head anymore. I was doing the mohawk and he said, don't cut your, shave your head, let your hair grow out. And then it's kind of a, looks like I'm going to be Akeem. And then they called me up and had me, wanted to fly me to New York to get fitted for the Akeem outfit. They had drawings and artwork for it and everything. And I had to go there and they actually did an actual fitting, took my sizes and showed me what it was going to look like and this and that. So then it was pretty much set. There was no way around it then. I hated it. I'm like, it's the end. It's the end of my life. It's the end of my career. Come on, Hannibal. It'd be like somebody coming to you and telling you the same thing. What if they told you, oh, we're going to make you a black man, Hannibal? There's no way you're going to believe it, right?
Yeah, I would be a little shocked. I liked the character, though, as I'm sure maybe you may have changed your mind a little bit at the end. But as a kid, I never knew they were trying to make you a black man. I just saw you as like the big guy that danced.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was ever really said that I was a black man, but he went to Africa, deepest, darkest Africa. I don't know, I'm not saying that everybody from deepest, darkest Africa, but I don't know. But, they shot the video. We was out in Connecticut, wherever, on some back alley, and me and Slick and the announcer, what's his name?
Mean Gene.
I was supposed to meet the Doctor of Style, Slick, here tonight. He was going to take me to deepest, darkest Africa.
And that's why you can't say that you didn't know they was trying to turn you into an African man, bro. Because there was all throughout the whole promo and throughout the whole vignette. And you guys go look back on that vignette. Can't play too much of it, but y'all can go see it. It's still on YouTube.
Mean Gene, that's it. Mean Gene was there, and they'd hired some professional dancers, and they had dressed them up, in their African dance outfits or whatever. And then, Mean Gene's like, I guess it's still on YouTube. You can look it up. One Man Gang changes to Akeem video or something like that. But it's like in this dark alleyway and smoke and everything, and garbage can kind of explodes, and I pop up behind it in my Akeem outfit, doing the yeah, brother, and all that, like that. And Slick's there, telling.
That was another thing, the brother thing. The brother thing was so cringy. Everything was brother, my brother. And that's how you know they were trying to turn you into a black man, bro.
And behold, Akeem!
Mean Gene, from now on, it's no longer One Man Gang. It's Akeem, from deepest, darkest Africa. And Mean Gene's like, what? What's he talking about? Maybe like he don't understand. And then, he says, from now on, it's Akeem. And the dancers start dancing around, in a circle or whatever. And they all started chanting, Akeem, 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 like that, And then Slick gives me he got like a big boom box. He gives me the boom box, and I put it up there. It shows me, and the camera shows me and Slick walking away from Mean Gene with the dancers dancing around where Gene is, just chanting my name, and we're like that. We're bopping down, showing me doing my little Akeem dance, bopping away, and then the camera focuses in and all the dancers start to close in on Gene like that. Then it cuts off. So that was the actual intro video, you know, because I'd always wondered. I asked Vince, how you going to explain, you know, one man gang just shows up and he's Akeem, and he goes, no, we got that taken care of. Don't worry about that. We know what we're doing. And that's what they did. And then from then on, I was Akeem. One man gang was never mentioned again.
How did the pay work when they brought you for a video shoot like that? Was that considered $50 TV pay, or
that was considered zero pay?
Okay,
nothing, zero. Just to do the video, you know, you just you know, you introducing a new character. I guess they figured that's, you know, part of your job. It wasn't no extra. They pay for the hotel room and stuff like that, your transportation, you know, things like that. But it had us a limousine to get us around and things. But, you know, it was like an all-night shoot. We went to some alleyway. They had trailers for us and things. And it was pretty much, it was like all night. I don't know. We started like at midnight and finished up like around 5 a.m. in the morning, just before daylight, because it had to be done before daylight, you know. So that was a long shoot, you know. So, but it worked, I guess. You know, the fans kind of picked up on it, you know, and you'd still get, you know, someone go, that's no Akeem, that's one man gang, blah blah blah, you know, that kind of stuff. But I didn't know, character wise, I wasn't told anything. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to talk, what to do. I didn't know anything about the character. I didn't know, you know, they didn't come to me and lay out you know, they didn't have a written diagram saying, well, this is the character of Akeem. This is what we want you to act as or talk as or whatever. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. And so the first night that I went out as Akeem, you know, Vince McMahon came to me in the back and go, this is your big night. This is your big night. This is Akeem's, you know, debut, you know, make it a good one. And I said, oh, man, I was nervous. As you know, you'd have to be nervous. I don't care who you are. You're nervous. So when the curtains opened up and we, you know, started toward the ring and they started Slick's Jive So Bro music with a little drum roll and everything, I was like, man, what? I'm just going to act stupid. I'm just going to ask you to act as stupid as I can act. So I started moving my hands, you know, and doing a little dance.
But that ain't gonna make you a black person. That ain't gonna make you get a black person gimmick over, bro. If you just act stupid, that's what you think. But again, guys, you see, Slick had his hand in on this too. So these guys would sell the culture out for some bread. But the worst gimmick in WWE, WWF wrestling gimmick of all time, guys. The worst gimmick.
It's almost like the bushwhacker walk. You remember the bushwhacker walk? I was just moving my hands and doing this and doing that. I had no idea what I was doing. Then we got in the ring and I was, you know, I'd heard the Jive So Bro so many times, you know, I kind of knew the words. So I started mouthing the words in front of the camera and stuff, you know, and got up on the apron and did a little, you know, whatever I was doing and got in the ring and did it in the ring and worked the guy and, you know, put my butt in his face and just stupid. Whatever I could think of was stupid. That's what I did. And then, you know, after the match, little match was over with, I come back in, and as soon as I walked through the curtains, you know, everybody was like, hey, they gave me like a standing ovation, and Vince gave me the thumbs up like that. So I pretty much knew I was safe right then.
Did you expect the dance to get over so much? Because I remember being in the crowd in those days, and when you would come out, even though you were a heel, the crowd would be doing the dance.
No, not at all, man. You think anybody expects anything to get over? You don't. I mean, you think Steve Austin expected 316 to get over like it did, or any of them other things? No, I didn't. I had no idea. I was just doing it because it was Akeem. That's the only thing I could think of to do. And you know, the crowd eventually, you know, I guess if you show it to them enough, they start picking up on it. So you look out in the crowd, and the crowd would be like moving around with you and doing their little thing. And so, you know, I'd give them the little high sign like that, you know, or whatever. And, you know, like Slick and I talked about it and said, you know, and instead of turning Big Boss Man baby face, you know, we feel that maybe they should have turned Akeem baby face, because Akeem, you know, I mean, could have been easy baby face, you know, but didn't go that way. But you know, it was still good. You know, this is the word I got before Akeem actually debuted and started. This was what was the pressure was put on me. Vince McMahon actually said, he says, you know, George, he didn't ever call me by my gimmick name. He was always, you know, your real name, George. You know, George, I have a spot in my company for Akeem, but I don't have a spot for the one-man gang. So that's a lot of pressure, man. If you don't get that, if that character don't work for you, you're out on the street, right? So
Absolutely, yo. Absolutely. But it's good to find out exactly who's behind the worst gimmick. And I learned something today. I hope you guys learned something today. If you like this type of wrestling content, hit the like button. And if you like wrestling content in general, you might as well go on and subscribe because that's all we do here, guys. We go deep in depth and we tackle golden era, attitude era, ruthless aggression. Shout outs to the red carpet ring and the toxic ring scandals. I'll see you guys later.